Simplify the quotient by writing the given number in standard form, where you have a plus bi, okay, where your real number is first and your imaginary number comes second. So you have negative 14 plus 8i and negative 6 minus 4i. Now notice the first two numbers in the numerator, the numbers in the numerator are both even, so you could factor out a 2 out of the numerator. And the numbers in the bottom are even, and they're both negative, so you could factor a negative 2 out of the denominator. Let's go ahead and do that. 2 times what is negative 14? 2 times negative 7. 2 times 4i is 8i. If you take the negative out of both of these, you're going to have negative 2 times 3 is negative 6, and negative 2 times 2i is negative 4i. Now you have 2 over minus 2. 2 divided by negative 2, that reduces to be negative 1. Now, if we're going to rationalize the denominator, then I want the conjugate of 3 plus 2i. What is the conjugate of 3 plus 2i? It's 3 minus 2i. All right? So we're going to multiply negative 7 times 3, and then we're going to FOIL these two, really. Let's just write it. Let's just do it one term at a time. The first term's negative 7 times 3. Okay. My inside terms, 4i times 3. My outside terms, negative 7 times negative 2i. And then 4i times negative 2i, negative 8i squared. My denominator, 3 times 3. You have 3 times minus 2i is minus 6i. And 2i times 3 is a plus 6i. So those I terms cancel. You have minus 6i and plus 6i cancels. And you end up with 2i times negative 2i. 2 times 2 is 4. So we're going to have a negative 4i squared. So there's your negative 21. Okay. Your 12i and 14i. We'll write them in a minute. Right now, I squared is a negative 1. So I'm going to have negative 8 times negative 1. Copy the other numbers down, like I said. And you'll have 9 minus 4 times negative 1. Okay? So now I have minus 21. You have negative 8 times negative 1. Copy the other ones down. You have 9 plus what? Negative 4 times negative 1 is a plus 4. So we end up now you have negative 21 and plus 8. Negative 21 plus 8. When you combine these two, that's where the negative 13 comes from. 12i and 14i, add them up, and 9 plus 4. Rewrite that. In fact, let's write it again and move this right. Let's make this fraction look smaller, okay? Negative 13 plus 26i. All right? Next thing we do, negative 1 times negative 13 is a plus 13. Negative 1 times 26i is a minus 26i. Okay? Copy that down. Factor a 13 out of both of these. There's a 13 in common. 13 times 1 is 13. 13 times negative 2i is negative 26i. Then the 13s are going to cancel. That's going to end up leaving you with 1 minus 2i. That's standard form.